Lighten, or whatever name you decide. Sorry for the shine. I don't know what happened to my lighting, but something you said in the post with your arrogance and your disgusting sarcasm is, boy, I tell you, talk about one who lacks understanding. What is the need for that? I don't know. But if you want to use fighting words and you think you were so big on understanding, let's go into this. Uh, uh, who don't understand the text. Well, what's interesting is the text that, okay, the text that you gave, the two texts that you gave were Yehoshua chapter 6, verse 15 through 17. The second partial text that you gave was 1 Kings chapter 20, verse 29. And based on those two texts, everything that I said was 100% correct, because within that text it doesn't tell you what day it began. That they began. In those two texts, it does not say when the Shabbat was. Those are the two things. So everything that I said about the two texts that you decided to only show were correct. See, I know your tricks and I know the stupidity that comes from the way you try to make yourself look right. But let's show the foolishness in what you say. Jasher chapter 88 verse 14. It says, and it was in the second month, on the first day of the month, that Yah said to Yehoshua, rise up, behold, I have given Jericho into your hand, with all the people thereof, and all your fighting men shall go round the city once each day. Thus shall you do for 6 days. And the priest shall blow the trumpet, and it goes on. Show me in this text, brother. Show me in this text where it says the day they began to march. It doesn't say. It says the day that Yah spoke to Yehoshua. It doesn't say the day that they began to walk. But let's go with your whole, what did you say at the end here? Here we clearly see that it was on the first day of the second month, and it was the first of 7 days of that, the first 7 days of that month. So, brother, when was the Shabbat during that time? That's all you need to answer. When was the Shabbat during that 7 day period? If you're saying you're saying that when it says in verse 1, in the first day of the month, that Yah said to Yehoshua, rise up, behold, I have given Jericho into your hand. That's when he spoke to him. Now, when was the day that they began marching? Show me that in there. That's number one. And number two, I mean, you're going to assume that it was the same day. Let's say it was the same day. When was the Shabbat during that time? That's all you have to answer. When was the Shabbat during that 7 day period? And then after you tell me where was the Shabbat the 7 day period, I will show you where. Well, I don't have to show you. I said everything I need to say about that in the other post. See, I'm not the one harping on this thing. You are. And now you want to continue to be disrespectful. Number one, if you were going to really want to reason the scripture, you would have added Jasher in what you sent to me. But you did not. You chose because you knew that at least you can try to show that Jasher is saying that the first day of that month was the day that they began to march. But it doesn't say that, does it? So, brother, that's the only question you have to ask, because in a few minutes, in a few hours, a couple of hours, you're done. I'm not doing another post. It's hard for me to type because I have computer issues with my keyboard, so I can't type like I would want to type. And plus I would rather do a video, but I'm not spending my time today or tonight to do a video. So that's what you need to try to figure out. It says he spoke to him and he said that he's given Jericho into your hands, all the people thereof, and all your fighting men shall go round the city once each day. Thus shall you do for 6 days, each day beginning when? Did a couple more days go by? Did a day go by? You can't really answer that question because it doesn't say that. Just like in Yehoshua, it doesn't say either when they began to march around. It only says that they began to march around for 6 days. So I'm not going to add, it was, even if they started on the first. When was the Shabbat, Aki? That's the question when was the Shabbat during that time? Because you're saying he wouldn't cause them to fight on the Shabbat. So then the 7th day would be the Shabbat if we were to talk about it in the way that we believe the 7th day Sabbath, or it was one of the other days. Was it on the first day? Was it on the second day? Was it on the third day? Which day during that week was the Shabbat? And it wouldn't be out of line with what I am saying anyway, because any one of those days could have been the Shabbat. I did not say that the 7th day after that month was the Shabbat, or after that first day. And if that is, here's another thing, bro, you really. First one of Jasher says, and it was in the 2nd month, on the first day of the month, right? 2nd month, on the first day of the month, which means that the month before that, whether it was 30 days or 29 days or whatever the days was, right now we count 30 days. So just to have a number, let's go back 30 days. 30 days or 29 days, or is it 30 to 31? I forgot which one it is that some of the months have it on the Hebrew calendar. Let's say it was 30 days. 30 days before that 2nd month was the first month. 7 days after that was what? The 7th day. When was the Shabbat? During those first 7 days of the first month. Obviously, it went week 7 days, week 7 days, week 7 days, got to the 2nd month, and here we are on the first day of the 2nd month. Brother, don't play. Don't act like you know it all, because you really look a little crazy out there. You're attacking my understanding. Are you serious? And didn't you say in the last post that the moon cannot be accurate because it was not made until the 4th day? So what are you looking at for your Shabbat? Not that I really care. I really don't care. I really honestly don't care. I just want you to explain where you know for sure that they began to walk on the same day that Yah spoke to Yehoshua, and then not only that, what day of that week was the actual Shabbat? That's it. I'm done. Whatever your answer is, I'm done. I'm not arguing this stuff with you. You want to keep arguing it? Find somebody else supposed to do it. I will delete you. Or you can delete yourself. It really doesn't matter to me, because anybody that wants to be contentious, I listened to your argument, I read your argument, and it doesn't hold water because you're adding things into the mix that are not there. It doesn't tell you what day that they actually went out. It just tells you that on the first day of the 2nd month that Yah spoke to Yehoshua. And number 2, to make it clear, I didn't say that the 7th day that it speaks of in Jasher, and I knew you was going to bring up Jasher anyway. In Jasher and in Yehoshua, I didn't say the 7th day that they took the land was the Sabbath. This is where you're not you're ignorant. I never said that it was the Sabbath. So either way, you need to answer those questions. Again, I give it to you again. Which day out of those 7 days was the Sabbath? Because if you can't tell us, then guess what? You don't know which day was the Sabbath. And number 2, what was the first month? How many days was the first month? Because this is the 2nd month, which you would imagine 30 to 29 days or whatever. If you really study the Hebrew calendar, there are 29 to 30 days per month, or 30 days to 31 days for certain months. I don't remember. So if we are at the first day of a month, actually the first day of the 2nd month, which you would only know because there are a certain amount of days each time. So how do you know the 2nd month came? You count how many days. If it's 28 days, I think some people say 28 days. If it's 28 days, then fine. That means that for 28 days, the first month came. 28, 29 days, whatever it is, the first month came. So still you have 7-day or a quote unquote 7-day Sabbath that occurs. Not when you feel like it, not when you feel like you see the moon and everything. And here's the bottom line to it all, Aki. The bottom line is the Sabbath was held in the land on the land's time and not the land of captivity's time. So when you start doing that, then come back to me and start talking about understanding. Okay? I'm done. I am so done with this. You can stick a fork in it. I'm done. I think one of those judges say that. But anyway, Shabbat is done. But shalom to you all out there that's listening to this. And please read the scriptures in context. Don't try to pull something in that really doesn't justify or say anything. And if you're going to be true to reasoning, be true to reasoning, because there's no doubt that this or people will do the same thing that it seems like this brother is doing. You can question, you can talk about me all you want, but not on my post. Okay? Shalom.